Hi and welcome to this hands-on guide on configuring your checkpoint gateway as a DHCP server. This is not just theory. What you are about to see reflects how DHCP is actually deployed on checkpoint gateways in real networks with real security needs. So whether you are managing a small branch office or securing a segmented network, this video is useful. So let's get started. So first, let's answer the question, why use your gateway as a DHCP server? So one of the most effective use cases is in isolated or DMZ networks. In these high-risk zones, exposing internal DHCP servers is a security concern. By enabling DHCP directly on the gateway, you keep IP assignment local, reduce your attack surface, and maintain strict segmentation. Your gateway becomes the gatekeeper, not just for traffic, but for identity. And no routing into the trusted network, no unnecessary exposure. So now let's get into the configuration process and see how easy it is to set up the DHCP on checkpoint. So I have this topology here. This is my gateway. And we have a Cisco switch here, and we have some guests or clients to test. So first, what we need to do is to build a bond interface. A bond interface is a virtual network interface that combines two or more physical interfaces into one logical link. Its main purpose is to improve redundancy and bandwidth. So in checkpoint vocabulary, it's called bond. In Cisco, it is called put channel, and also known as ether channel, which is a networking technology that combines multiple physical Ethernet links into a single logical link between two devices, such as switches, routers, or servers. So in our case, we will build a bond interface here to bond these two interfaces, and a put channel here to bond, you can say, these two interfaces. So let's get started. And we do that in checkpoint. We need to log into our Gaia. So we go to network interfaces, and here we click on add and bond. So let's give it a comment here on DHCP, for example. So bond group, let's take the group number 0 for this demonstration. Here we need to add physical interfaces. So back to our topology, we see that it is Ethernet 2 and Ethernet 0 that we need to add. Back, this, add, and this, add. And we need to be compatible with Cisco. We will use a LACP or link aggregation protocol. So we need to choose this one here, and under advanced, we don't need to do anything, and we don't need any IP address. So just click OK here. Okay, we need to okay. In this interface has an IP, so we need to remove it. So let's log in once, because no interface should have an IP address. So first let's get the lock. Okay, let's try delete interface ATS0 IPv4, something like this. And now we have succeeded to remove the IP address. So let's head back. Let's choose this and OK. So now we have created our bond interface. What we need, so in real world scenario, you don't have physical interfaces, many physical interfaces for different VLANs. But we create VLAN interfaces here. Not VLAN interfaces, just VLANs. But it is they are interfaces in Checkpoint, but here we create only VLANs. So let's start by creating the first one. So add and VLAN. So let's call that VLAN 10, for example. Give it the 10, a member of band 0. So this is very important here. So we need to add an IP address for that. So let's take, for example, 10.1 and 0, something like that. Okay. So this is our first VLAN interface. Let's add another one here. VLAN 15 and band 0. Let's 15, something like that. Okay. I have 4 clients. Let's create 4 different interfaces. So VLAN 20, for example, 20 and band 0. Let's give it an IP. And the last one, let's create VLAN 25 on 0 and the IP is 1. So now our band interface and our interface VLANs are ready here. So on the Cisco world here, let's open the switch and so let's go to the configuration mode. We need to do the same. So create a port channel here. So let's get the commands here. I have so now we have created channel group 1, so port channel 1, and we need to make it a trunk. So let's exit here and make it a trunk. But okay, so switch port encapsulation trunk encapsulation dot. Okay, so now switch port trunk. Okay, exit. Let's save. So now we can check that our interface or our port channel is up, and it is up as we can see here. Port channel state up. So do show brief. We can see our port channel here is up. So now we need to do the same. So create VLAN 10, exit VLAN 15, exit VLAN 20 and VLAN 25. And if we check our show VLAN brief, we can see that we have 4 different VLANs. Okay, what we need to do now is back to our gateway here and do this here, DHCP server, enable it and add. Okay, so first enable this subnet, and we need to get info from our interfaces. So here you can see our VLAN interfaces. So let's start by the first one and click OK. And here we need to add pool. this is include, status, enable, and start. So this is a 10, let's say from 10 to I don't know, 445 maybe, something like that. So you need to keep some IPs excluded, and here you need to add the gateway, which is the IP of the interface, 10.1, and a primary DNS, your DNS or any DNS you like, something like that. So enable, apply. So now our DHCP server is ready and ready to share IPs. So let's back here and let's run this device. And what we need to do is, so this device is connected to port gigabit 02. So we need to assign this interface to the correct VLAN. So let's do that. Let's do interface gigabit 02 switch port access, switch port mode first, mode access, and switch port access VLAN 10. Okay, let's take spanning tree port fast so we don't become delayed by the spanning tree protocol. Okay, let's save, and now let's open this one here. And okay, show IP. So now we don't have an IP. So how to get an IP using the DHCP? You type IP DHCP, something like that, and it will send. Try. Okay, I think we need to uninstall the policy. Let's back to our. Okay, so FW unload local, because now I think the policy is denying everything. So let's uninstall that. Let's try again here. I can see directly DORA, discover offer, and now we get this IP, so the last one. So now our DHCP is working perfectly. Let's try to ping something here. Timeout. Okay, we need to fix NAT. That is not a problem for now. This is not working because NAT is not configured on the gateway. So now we have the first one is working correctly. Let's run the next one, and we see here it's Gaia 03. So let's go to the switch, back to the switch, exit here, interface Gaia 3, and the same switch port mode access. Switch port access VLAN 15 this time, and spanning tree. Okay, do save, and we can do the same here. And show IP, no IP, IP DHCP. See, let's test again. Okay, we need to create the server first. So here we need to add the server. So we don't have any server yet. So let's take the bund 15 here. Okay, add bool. So we do exactly the same. Enable. And let's take 15, 10, 15, or 5, something like that. Here, need to add the gateway, and a DNS. Let's enable that. Okay. Now we can try again. And you can see directly it's Dora. And we are getting, so show IP. So you get IP address, gateway, DNS, everything in one click. But question is, what if you want to reserve an IP address? So I mean, what if you need a specific client or server to have a specific IP? In that case, we need to reserve an IP address. But in Checkpoint, you can't do that here in the GUI. You need to do that in the CLI. And we have a file. Let's see. We have this file here. So first we need to head to the expert mode. I think let's set a password. So expert mode. Okay. So cd etc ls. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay, oh, the file that we need to edit is this file, DHCP dconf. Okay, so let's try to cat DHCPd, and here we can see this file includes our subnets or our pools, IP pools. So the first pool is this one, the 10 one, and the next pool is the 15. So let's try first to create a new pool here. Let's use the 20 subnet and include enable 2110 and 20, something like that. Let's add the gateway and DNS here. Okay, we did not enable it, so let's enable that. Okay, so now if we back to here, now we can see that the 20 subnet is now included. But say at this host here should sit in the 20 subnet, but it should get a specific IP. Let's say 2050, for example. So show IP. So now we have nothing. But let's get this MAC address. We need this MAC address. So first, let's head back to our gateway. And here we need to use v and DHCP d.conf. So we need to edit this file. Let's type I here, and we can use as follows. So we need to delete this MAC address. So this is the hardware Ethernet, and get this MAC instead. So here we need to like this. The IP that we need to share is 20. Okay, here 20, and let's leave it 77. Option routers is the gateway, so let's fix that. Subnet mask and option. Let's use Google DNS in this case. And now we need to save, so click escape, colon, and write and quit. So let's use cat to be, and now it is saved. So let's put this interface 10 on the set interface gigabit 10 0 switchport mode access switchport access VLAN 20 and spanning tree and save. Okay, so now let's try to get an IP address. So IP DHCP. I think everything is ready. Let's see. Okay, we get that because I think we need to restart our DHCP server. So let's try to restart it. Let's back to our gateway here. This command and restart it. As you can see, down and up again. So shutting down, starting DHCP. So now it is restarted. Let's shut down this one and restart it because it will not save anything. Let's start again. So so show IP, nothing. So IP DHCP. Let's see what IP it should get now. As you can see, it got our IP. So we have reserved this IP to this device. So now it is working as, let's take a look at the DNS. And you can see here. So you can choose another DNS if you want, in this case. So the restarting of the DHCP server is needed. And you need to do the same configuration if you have a cluster of 2 or more. You need to do the same configurations on all gateways. And I think you need to, so this configuration will not survive a reboot. So there is some command. So we need to use this something like this to make this file immutable, so that it will survive a reboot and save this changes that we did. So this video is done here. So I hope that was helping. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video.